Hey, all right, awesome people. Hope your Super Bowl Sunday is going well. Mine is going pretty good too. I just got done going on a skate date, like a double date with Madison, Eve, and Zach, which was really fun. And then I came back home. Instead of watching the Super Bowl, I'm working on something that I've been working on for a very long time, and you guys have not seen a video of it at all. And that's mostly because I've been taking videos for a really long time, and I'm just going to put them all into a montage. But I realize that if I put everything in, it's going to be so long that nobody will want to watch it probably. So I'm going to do a short introductory video of Billy. And Billy is a robot, and we've been building him, and it's taking a lot of work, but it's so cool to see him work, and it's just a ton of fun. I'm the president of the engineering club. I'm just proud of that because I'm not able to say that about like anything else, that I'm like a leader of something. So that's what I'm really proud about, and it's been really fun, and people are like learning stuff like really quickly, and we've just been having not a great year in terms of we're winning competitions and stuff, because we're not. I think we were second to last the first competition and 35th out of 44 at the second competition. And the only reason we were that like high up in the second competition is because you get paired up with random people for each match. Each match has 4 bots. Each team is a random 2 teams, like 2 mini teams. Not many teams. 2 combined teams. Yeah. So we got paired up with someone really good in our last match, and we got 35th out of 44, which was better. And you're going to see in that big montage video in a while that our first bot, Billy 1.0, was terrible. It looked like a Frankenstein monster thing that was like really rickety and just broken. But you get the picture. Billy, the bot, really wasn't good in the beginning. But now he's getting better, and we might actually do good at the third competition. It's going to be coming up on February 24th, and then I'm going to compile all the clips and put them all into one big video, just for a heads up for you guys. So it may not seem like I'm doing that much with video stuff, but I think about it every day a little bit. I was just fixing something. But yeah, you'll see the bot in a second in a clip or two, but I just want to talk about meeting the team, because we wouldn't get anything done if it wasn't for everybody being on the team. And it's obviously not just me, even though I like to do a bit of work on the robot, and I'm always like thinking about what can I do, and there's other people like that, such as Madison Stumbaugh, which is my girly friend, and she does a lot of help on the robot because she's got like a really like engineer-like mind, and she's good at like coming up with stuff. So is Charlie Mickey. I've talked about him a couple times in videos, and he like jumped in like halfway through this season, and he's been doing really good for how much experience he hasn't had, and he's already like doing a significant amount on the bot. So thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Maddie. And there's a bunch of other people such as Michael Scalero and Issa. Yes, Issa squared. They are the drivers for the team, and originally in the beginning of the season I announced Issa team leader, and he's a freshman this year, and I'm a junior along with Madison, and then Michael's also a junior, and Charlie's a sophomore. And I announced Issa team leader mostly because in the first couple weeks he was like always on task with researching stuff on what we should do with the bot. And honestly, Issa, if you're watching this, you've kind of declined in how much work you do during our meetings. So you're still the team leader, like technical team leader, even though I lead a bit more. But everybody still does their part every time we go to robotics. And Issa and Michael are working on driving the bot because that's a big part of it. I've not explained what this bot is for. It's a competition, and the competitions are set up on a playing field, and you'll see that in the montage, definitely. But you build this bot to do stuff on that playing field, and you don't. It's like not battle bots where they're clashing. They have to do tasks like throw stuff over walls and stuff. And you'll see all of that later. But you've pretty much met the team. Also an honorable mention to Gavin Lewis, CJ Franklin, Jack Jester, and I think that's everybody. I'm so sorry if I missed you if you're on the team and I forgot you. But there's a lot of people on the team. And I'm a scatterbrain. So, you ready for a plot twist? I wasn't using a tripod this entire time. I was using Billy himself. Whoa. Oh, there's Billy. You didn't think he was with me, did you? Well, I took him home over the weekend, and I'm going to show you a bit about him. And finally stop talking. I'm like Mr. Silvestri. I just talk and talk and talk and talk. I'll flip this camera around. We're going to look at Billy a little bit. Okay, so here's a little side view of him, Billy the robot. I'll lower this, even though I cringe every time I hear these motors. Because you're really not supposed to do that. I'm sorry, Billy. Here. Okay, so this is Billy the robot. And pretty much what we have is, I'm going to tell you about the systems with him. There's mainly, let's say, 3 systems. We have the chassis and drivetrain, which has 4 wheels on it. And these red things are called shaft encoders. And these let the robot run by itself in one mode. Usually it's driver control that we test with this. So that's system 1. It drives the robot and holds the base together. And then we have system 2, which this is the tower. And you can see between these 2 pieces of what we call C-channel, we have 4 gears. This is a 12-tooth, 60-tooth, 12-tooth, and 80-tooth gear. And these gears are all connected together in one system, these on this side as well, to this middle axle. If you look on the top, this axle connects all the way across, and in the middle holds this arm. And connected to that system are 4 motors right there. And those motors feed into the 12-tooth for a specific reason that I won't get into. But over here, we have our 3rd system, which is the arm and the wrist. We call it the wrist because it's kind of like, since this is called an arm, this would be called a wrist. And this would be called a hand, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But we have a gear and sprocket system, or what is it? A sprocket and chain system, sorry. Which is used instead of just these normal gears connected to this motor, because we want the motor as far back as possible on the arm so that we get weight away from the front, because what we had before is this was not strong enough to lift this much weight. And that was a huge problem because this is like the entire thing to do with the game. It's called the manipulator, which lets you take game pieces in the game and let your robot interact with them. So we moved this back up here because that takes off weight from all the way on the front so that this can lift it. And we also changed this around to get more torque out of the motors so that they would lift the arm. And this fork is used to pick up jacks. I'll throw in a quick clip of what a jack is. Okay, so you get the picture, and this is used to pick those up, and then this, well, I'll say this first. You can use this to make the wrist pretty much do this, and that's so that it won't, so that the jacks won't fall out. And then once it's like that, it will activate the gear system in the back on the controller, and it can throw it over. So that's the main gist of the entire robot. There's a lot of technical things, like I haven't put this battery really back into working order, and you can see that the drivetrain motors, their wires are not plugged in to this thing. This is the whole brain system of the robot. It's called the Cortex. All the wires go into there, and this is a wireless receiver type thing. And you can see another one of these in, there we go. This is the controller. You can see another one of those in here. And if they're by each other and they're both turned on, how about we turn it on? Okay, so plug that in, and then it's always difficult to, there's not really a good place to put that. Okay, so I turned it on, you can see the lights flashing, and then take the remote. I hope this is entertaining, because this video is already getting long. Better than me talking the whole time. Okay, and then if you see 2 green lights and then 1 blinking green light, that is good on both of them. So now they're connected. And in the coding, you have 2 modes. You have autonomous, which autonomous means drives by itself. And then you have driver control, which you press buttons on this controller to do certain things on the robot. So I wish I could set my phone on something. I'll just sit in this chair. And probably get hit, so I'm clumsy right now. Okay, so I programmed it so that this button and this button do autonomous or driver. And as you can see, it's U on the top and D on the bottom. So D for driver, I'll press that, and now it's in that mode. And then the 2 bumpers on the back right here are to lift the arm. So there it's going up and going back down. So that, sadly, is the only thing hooked up right now. So you can't see it drive around, you can't see the wrist move. But I think that the time that I spend on it at home has served me well. And if I back up right now, you can see that I tore that section of my room apart and put everything on the floor over there and like move the table and stuff to get all my to get all the tools and everything. So I've been working quite a bit, and that, my friends, is Billy 2.0 or 2.1.5.6. We've been making a lot of changes, but I think it's coming together really well, and I'm probably going to make another video of it playing some games in class. Not in class, in club, when we're practicing with it, and that'll be really good in my opinion, because we've been working on this for so much, and I really want to see it do well and work. So that's why I took it home, and that's why I made a video about it. So if you guys like the video, you can leave a like or a comment. I'll try to keep the talking down on these robotics videos. I can be really boring because I like talking about this stuff, and not a lot of people like listening to it. So if you did, you can leave a like. As I said before, I'll stop asking for likes. And I hope you guys have a good Super Bowl Sunday. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye.